In the main layout window of HiQNet London Architect, you can access the properties of devices by clicking on the device and looking in the properties window. If the properties window does not appear, you can right-click and select properties off the context menu. In the properties window, you can change the name of the device by clicking and giving a new name. Always hit enter after typing the name. If you click off without hitting enter, the name will not be retained. You can turn on or off the display of the object type, Blue 800 in this case, and the object name by double-clicking on them or selecting from the drop-down list. You can see or modify the HiQNet node address of the device. You have control over the sample rate of the device, 48K or 96K. If that device contains a Cobranet CM1 module, this also sets the sample rate for the Cobranet card. You can control the Cobranet latency of the device. There's a serial port on the back of the device, which can be used for remote control with Crestron, AMX, Medialon, devices of that type. It can also be used to send serial commands to other devices. The properties window is where you adjust the baud rate and all of the settings for that port. It's important to note that the acknowledgement setting will not change how the device reacts to signals. It will always send an acknowledgement when it receives a valid command. The acknowledgement property controls whether the device is going to wait for an acknowledgement back after sending a command. In the visual section, we can turn on and off the Ethernet and the Blue Link ports right here and right here. If I turn those off, I can also turn on the control ports to display the control ports of the device. This can make it easier to illustrate our design if we have lots of wall controls. I can turn on or off delay compensation. Delay compensation, when it's on, means that all the outputs of that device are time aligned to one another. If output number 2 has a few extra processing objects, which creates a few extra microseconds of delay, all the other outputs with a common signal path will be time aligned to match that. If you're using the device for multi-driver cabinets, that becomes very important. If you're driving a bunch of ceiling speakers, it's not so important. In the rare case where you do start to run out of DSP power in the device, you can turn off delay compensation to gain a few points back. Logic subscription and the logic change block controls really can be ignored unless you have huge logic programming and you're starting to encounter performance issues. Turning on logic subscription will limit subscriptions to only logic sources and logic ends, making London Architect ignore all the other devices. This won't affect logic processing, but it will cause London Architect to not subscribe to those objects, not display their indicators on the screen, and therefore not take up CPU time on the device. The logic change block, very much the same. It causes logic sources and logic ends only to be written to the change block, again freeing up some CPU cycles. Not something you generally have to worry about. Dynamic meters can be set in properties. We'll take a deeper look at those in a little bit. We can also turn on control port subscribe. When control port subscribe is turned off in the default position, control ports only react to a change of state. If a control port is open and you have a mute button linked to it, that mute button won't react until the control port changes state, until you close that contact. If control port subscribe is on, then that mute button is forced to always match the control port. In some cases, this is useful. In other cases, it can be very dangerous. For instance, if control port subscribe is turned on and you have 4 potentiometers assigned to the 4 volumes of rooms in a room combiner, when you combine those rooms, the room combiner will attempt to force all those volumes to match because they're now combined, but control port subscribe will attempt to force all those volumes to match the external controls. It'll put you in a control loop, you'll max out the CPU, the device will come to a screeching halt. So use control port subscribe only when necessary. Recall presets on startup will cause any preset that's assigned to a control port to be recalled when the device boots. We can turn on or off dithering for 16-bit and 20-bit CobraNet channels. We can control which blue link this device is part of. Finally, we have control over all of the parameters for that device and key bindings for that device.